Okay, good morning. Here's what we did in class on Friday, where we started going through your first Java program. We made a program called Hello World. We found out that we had to type in all this weird stuff. This right here is a command that prints whatever we put inside of these parentheses. So as a reminder, if I hit the plus sign, we compile, which meant to check for errors. And then when we want to run and see the output, we hit the run guy right there. And what we have inside of here prints for us. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit. I want to continue to go through the lesson. So the next part of the lesson talks to you about something called remarks. So although they refer to them as remarks, I often will call them comments. We put comments in our program the same way we did in JavaScript. So if I want a comment to go on a single line, I just use the 2 slashes. So I can come back to my program, like I said, just like we did in JavaScript, and I could put 2 slashes. Notice that the comment turns orange. So this is going to be typical for us when we are putting in comments. All comments will be orange. So let's just say I put let's put how to name a program as the comment on that line. And I could put these comments anywhere. You can see that I put them after the code. The compiler, the tool that checks for errors, will ignore all comments. Now, later on in the lesson, and I'm going to skip over a little bit, all the way down to this end part. So near the end of the lesson, it talks about putting comments over multiple lines. So if I wanted to, and I can, like I said, I can put comments anywhere. I can even put comments before I even say public class hello world. So notice that the author put 3 comments in the program. And when they did that, they put the slash on each individual line. And we could do that. So I'm going to somewhat duplicate what they have. I'm going to put programmer, Kim Shaver, and then on the next line, I'm going to put the date. And then on the next line, I'm going to put the school. And for my school, I'm going to put DCMST. So as a reminder, comments do not affect the output of your program. So right now, if I went to hit the run guy here, I would still be printing hello world. All the comments are ignored. Now, if you continue on in the lesson, it talks about the other kind of comments we can put in our program that are just like the ones in JavaScript, where we can start comments at the beginning of a line with /*. And then if I want to end the comments, I put a */. So instead of having to type 3 lines with 3 double slashes, I can come in here and I can replicate this, but use the other way to put in comments. So when I want to put in comments over multiple lines, I can start, like I said, with a /*. Notice everything turns orange because it's expecting me to end with a */. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these double slashes at the beginning of the line. And I would like you to put this in your Hello World program so that you have evidence. So I have evidence that you know how to put a comment on a single line and a comment over multiple lines. And once again, if I compile, it doesn't affect the output of our program. Now, going back to the other, more like the beginning part of our lesson. So we put in the code to print Hello World to the screen. Most of you were able to learn on Friday that if we changed what we put inside of the double quotes, that would change what would be printed. So just as a follow-up, if I changed Hello World to Michigan Wolverines, for instance, I made a change to my program. Anytime you make a change to your program, you have to recompile, which means, again, to check for errors. So otherwise, Java will run the last program that compiled successfully. So if I hit the run guy, now it prints Michigan Wolverines. So down in the printing section, it asks you to make some changes to what's printed. I feel like 1 and 2 you probably get the sense for, but I want to talk about a few of these right here. Now notice these are not strings because they don't have the double quotes. So I want to try some of these. So inside of the parentheses, I type 25 over 5. What do you think is going to happen? Well, if you guessed that it would do this math calculation, you are correct. So if you don't put the double quotes in, Java's gonna treat this like a math calculation. Watch what happens if I do put these inside of double quotes. So I'm turning that into a string. Guess what happens? It prints 25 over 5. So without double quotes, it's not a string, it's a math calculation. Let's try a few of these others. If I say 4 divided by 7.0445902, you might need a calculator to guess that one, but it gives us a decimal number. It gives us a lot of decimals. We'll learn later how to format those decimals. And then, of course, another basic math operation is a multiply. Okay, so those answers seem reasonable. So at this point, what I'd like to do is I think I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to start a new video to talk about the last part of the lesson. So thanks for listening, and I'll be back shortly with video number 2.